Thank you for inviting me for this short video shooting. I work in Raymond as a director HR for textiles and for the JK Ensel, which is a FMCG company. The challenges for big data is that these days, due to social media, there's a lot of explosion of data that's coming on our way. But however, how do you really sieve it? How do you ensure you get the right profile for your requirement? Anytime if you see and put a profile on the net or the LinkedIn, you will have hundreds of data which is coming in your way. There should be proper tools that's away. It should be used to sieve the data so that you are able to get the right candidate for your requirement. Then volume makes your job more complicated because you need to have a proper tool to evaluate that. Currently, we are using for preliminary screening. Yeah. Very much. In fact, it's an understated thing. HR is the window to the external world. They are branding the company externally. So employer branding is through the HR team. So we go for hiring, we go for talent acquisition, not only at senior level, but in management campuses. So when we present the organization, as you understand, we need to really showcase the organization without having hype, because there should be a genuine projection of what the company is going to offer to the candidate and how he or she is going to make a career in the organization. Culture is one aspect we need to sensitize, because sometimes a square peg in a round hole, you may get a brilliant candidate, but he or she will not be able to survive and thrive. I can give an example where we got a very top-notch CFO kind of person, but this is a different kind of organization, so person will not able to adapt to the company's requirement. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you, that is very, very essential that you need to have the proper way of projecting and marketing, and that should be an essential and trait for every HR person who is in the talent acquisition front. This is a cyclic thing. I remember my previous job was in Reliance Retail. At that point of time, modern retail was the one where everybody jumped into the bandwagon. And I can tell you at this point of time, a lot of euphoria because of the new government. And many sectors are being looked at, which is going to provide more and more opportunities for employment. The pharma is one sector which is a kind of a very steady going sector. And now I realize that I interact with HR fraternity from various walks of life. The power, infrastructure, and energy are the sectors besides the manufacturing are going to grow, because that's what the trust and government is going to really focus at and going to pump in a lot of money, because that is going to get restructured, and the government's attention is to ensure that they strengthen this sector. So I'm pretty sure in time to come, the BFSI sector will also get more importance. Technology is a given thing now. If we are not technology savvy, we don't use the tool, we are losing out a lot of things in life. So it's an understatement to say that are you going to use technology? We have no choice but to use technology. Simply because that's available, and it's a very, very powerful tool to help and aid for us in decision making. So that's why technology is going to be the differentiator. And I can tell you for sure, we use technology at this point of time to the extent is required by us, but there's enough or more scope for us to use technology, and to that extent, organization like yours will be of immense help to us. See, it's very difficult to do that because HR is like a business partner. If you see the earlier ones, mostly HR was only drawing up the resources of the organization in the name of people development, skill development, as because that is required and that's going to happen. However, the CEO or MD of an organization will look forward to what the value of bring to the table. And these days, value is more of ROI. If that's the case, definitely cost focus has to be there in whatever areas, including talent acquisition, how efficiently and effectively you are deploying all the technology to ensure that you do not spend more than required. So this is an important aspect, and gradually people are realizing that HR is not a cost-centered function. Different verticals are there, but I would say in ballpark of almost 5 to 7% of the budget we allocate, and we invest heavily on engaging consultants of repute in various areas and ensure that the people development happens on a continuous basis. We believe strongly there's an investment on people for the future, so we do not see as cost to the organization. And luckily, our top management believes in this, and they once convinced and about this thing, there's no limit for us, literally. Yes, this we have done a very intense survey to understand the aspirations of the Gen Y versus Gen X. I would say that clear differences are there, but they can coexist and work and leverage on each other's strength. The Gen Y people feel that Gen X are the people who are not very open to change in technologies. They want to maintain the status quo. They also have the idea that a certain way of things that's going to work or not work in the organization by virtue of having seen those aspects in the past by working in different organizations, and they are not very technology savvy. Gen Y people are viewed by Gen X that these people are impatient. They ask what's in it for me. They want work-life balance. They want fun at work, and they also want a very clear differentiated compensation package, and they want a faster career growth in the organization if you want to retain them in the organization. Yeah. Content is the foundation. If we have a sound base, if the content is developed properly, then it becomes easy to standardize if the multi-location, multi-business organization is there. So it's important for all stakeholders, key stakeholders to understand. So I would say content development is not the prerogative of only the HR people. Various people, including line function. I remember one thing I will tell you. We developed a concept called people manager. A handful of people, the HR people cannot manage the whole organization. So the line managers are the real HR managers. So we picked up bright and successful line managers. We call them as people managers. And there are 150 of them in the company. We trained them intensely on various aspects of people handling skills. And we took them as a pool of, I would say, extended arm of HR. And through them, we helped to get their inputs and develop the content, which is more meaningful, and people relate to that content better than some HR person relating, developing this thing. HR should never say that I have done it. And that's very essential. Then only if you get inputs from various stakeholders, it has faster application and acceptance in the organization. Social recruiting is coming in a big way. If you are not into it as a first time engaged person in that, you are going to miss out. So jump into the bandwagon. Train a pool of people in the organization. It's easy, my dear friend. It is these days of come in where work smart, not just work hard. So from that angle, it's important that leverage the best of the technology available. While it may come sometimes how much you are going to invest, it depends on your organization, but push beyond what you think is possible. Take more risk in investing. It is one-time cost, no doubt, initially, but it will repay you in many, many times the investment that you have made on technology. My advice to the young budding recruiters, many times they tell talent uh, acquisition, we call recruitment, is a very mundane kind of function. I would give an example. I was a line manager. I worked for Tata Motors for 14 years. Before I was spotted by my general manager HR telling that you relate to people quite well. I reluctantly came to the function of HR. But however, I ensure that we as HR people should continuously upgrade our skills. If required to be talent acquisition, I have gone through in my career at least 3 modules of 5 days each to ensure that I understand the nuances of competency-based recruitment, behavior event interview, assessment center techniques. The more we know, the more we are able to value add. Many times I've seen people simply grow in levels, they start sitting in the interviews and they think they are great interviews and they make mistakes more of time. In recruitment balance, there are type 1 and type 2, both errors are possible. You are losing a good candidate because of you're not able to exactly holistically understand various competencies of the person, or you're hiring a wrong person and really facing the problem in the organization. Both sides, you had a lot of implications are there in the organization. So I sincerely appeal to all the recruiters, even my fraternity people, that please upgrade your knowledge through application of talent acquisition. It will help a great deal to you as a person and also benefit the organization in general. Thank you.